Notts County Talk, welcome back to the channel. We are live. Well, I say we are live. I am live on a Wednesday for a change, so not our usual Thursday slot. Hopefully people did see it on our socials that we tried to make it quite clear we're a day early. We couldn't contain our excitement, to be honest, ahead of our season opener away to Newport before we come back to Meadow Lane for Salford in a 12:30 kickoff. While I let you know what's going to happen on today's show, some of it's the usual thing, some of it's a little bit different for a show, not just because it's on a different day. Try and guess who my co-host is that's going to be joining me in, the next sort of minute or two. Who's it going to be? Jordan, Will? Is it going to be Jake? No George this evening. So if you've got anything you want to say about him, tonight's the night. Put it in the chat. I won't tell him. He probably won't watch this. So put it in the chat. Today, we've obviously got to talk about the Cardiff friendly. We've got to talk about the 2 for Tuesday, as Notts put it, signings yesterday. We've got to talk about Newport, and we've got Ian on, who's representing Newport. Chat them in a minute. They obviously had a game last night, which I've already had a quick chat to Ian. He was happy about the game, but not too happy they had to play that particular fixture. We've got to talk about, will there be any more signings? The thing still rumbles on with Jatta. We don't have him for the first 5 games. What's our best 11? Do we need anyone else in? We're going to talk about it all. And also, midway through the show, we will be drawing the winner for the home and away shirt. So if you entered, then we're going to be drawing that today. Home and away shirt. You may be lucky enough to get both. Who knows? But let's see. Someone's guessed Ben's joining us. Someone else has guessed Ben. Gary Lineker. I'm not sure how much you would know about Notts. Someone else has said Ben. Let's see. The co-host for tonight, Jordan. Steve says Jordan is... It's not Will. It's Ben. It's Ben. Ben, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, very good. Very pleased to be here. Just really glad to get it over the line. Just want to get started and show the fans what I can do. Excited for the season to come.
Yeah, it's going to be good, isn't it? I'm just looking. There's always someone that spoils the show for everyone else. Narnia Orchids was the anagram. And Hughes has already got it. Ian Richardson. Always. It's always someone. No, but that's very quick. Well done, mate. That is very, very quick. Ian Richardson was a throwback to a long time ago. I mean, we've had players from last season, haven't we? We had Matty Palmer and people like that, but that's a big throwback. Did you like Ian Richardson as a player, Ben?
I did. He was absolutely fabulous. Just a brilliant, brilliant player, Richie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know this person, Ben?
Never heard of him.
My brother? No.
All right, bro.
If you want me to block him at any point, let me know. If he starts getting a little bit abusive. Any questions for Ben? Because Ben's on regularly, but he's not on all the time, and he's not been on for a while because it's been sort of pre-season and the summer break. Ask Ben. We've got Ian coming on in a second. You can ask Ian any questions you've got. Gaza says, anyone else think the away shirt collar looks like a Vickers collar? Reverend Tom in the house. Now I can't unsee it, so thank you for that.
It's true.
I do know what you mean. It's a nice shirt, though. It's a nice shirt. Someone's going to be winning it on this evening's show. So, Ben, before we get Ian in, how excited are you for the season?
Well, this is our great wait-and-see season, isn't it? That's what it feels like to me. It's like we wait and see on the coach. He could be really good. We're not sure. He's asked to be judged on the first 5 or 10 games, so we'll see. We've made the kind of signings that we make. Not sure. We lost the spine of the team, if you like. I mean, you didn't lose Abbott, but we lost. There are 3 very, very important players that are not with us. So Roos could be great. New signings we'll talk about in a bit. But I am actually really excited, and I think the last sort of week or so was kind of you can sort of feel it. Good win behind closed doors. Obviously, we don't know much about that, but it's still a good win.
Yeah.
And an excellent performance against Cardiff. So, and I couldn't see that game, so we'll talk about it a bit later. But I'm really interested in, like, could you see an identity? Could you see a Patterson team? Because that Williams friendly against
Forest.
Yeah, exactly, against that lot. Yeah, except Westbridge for Wanderers. But you could see the identity straight away.
Yeah. Well, we've got to talk about all of that. Loads and loads to talk about. Charlie says, give a nudge to the owners for Macca. I know we had them on the channel a few years ago, but I'm not that influential. He's just scored a hat trick, albeit it was against Sutton, but you never know.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk Newport, a game that I didn't make last season, but we won with Charlie Whittaker scoring a couple, I think. And the year before, great memories of the Jody Jones game where he turned into, Messi for the game, and it was one of our only good performances under Maynard there. But let's get Ian in.
Yeah.
Ian, thank you for joining us. How are you doing, mate?
I'm all right. Absolute pleasure. Good to see you again. All the best for the season.
Yeah, and for you. Now. Your season started last night, didn't it? In a weird way, and not a way I don't think you're too happy about it.
I'm happy that we've won a game, because I don't think we're going to win too many this year. So we won away from home and we won a penalty shootout. So that's great. But yeah, I think most fans of those clubs who had to play in a playoff to get into the League Cup, that seems fundamentally wrong to me. And basically, it's down to your neighbours who've qualified for some European Tin Pot tournament. As a result of that, 4 clubs have got a playoff to get in the League Cup. That doesn't seem right to me. We're in the league at the moment anyway. 92 clubs in the league should play in the League Cup. You shouldn't have to qualify to play in that.
I massively agree.
Couldn't agree more. Ridiculous.
Massively agree. And it's looking after the bigger sides, isn't it? Not that Forest are a big side, but I'm talking about Prem sides.
Yeah.
Looking after...
They don't need any help.
No, they don't. But you got the win and you won on penalty, something that, sides wait years to get a penalty win, and you got one. You nearly threw it away. I think you were 2-0 up with like a minute and a half to go. Interesting. Your goal from Michael Rendorf, who's on loan from Cardiff, who we actually played the weekend. We were heavily linked with him in January, and I didn't know anything about him. It's some goal though, wasn't it?
Yeah. He is one of the exciting things. He's come from a club that I can't speak the name, but them lot down the road. He is exciting, and he could be something. And I know that their fans rate him. So we've got him. He's on loan, and we haven't had somebody like that. A sort of quite big, quite strong, quite quick. Technically decent centre forward. I mean, last night, he beat 3 and stuck it in the top corner from 25 yards. So if you can do that a few times this season, he's going to give us something we haven't had for a while by the look of that. So quite excited about what he can do for us.
I think, Ben, we probably could have done with him in January, because not in January, but like post-February, Jatta kind of dried up with his goals, didn't he? And we struggled to, we missed so many chances. Have you seen the goal, Ben?
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's exactly that. It's like strength and power beats 2 men or 3 men and smacks it in the top corner. Yeah, we could have done. We could have done with a bit of that. No, I'm really pleased for you, because he looks a find. He looks a find.
Definitely, and but if he scores a better goal than that all season, we'll be doing well.
The goal of the season wrapped up in a game that shouldn't even be a thing.
Correct.
We're going to obviously talk about Newport, and it's always good. I like the start of the season, because when we have like yourself on, Ian, or a Salford fan next week, or a Barrow fan, we can talk about the pre-season more. But as we go into this season, it kind of fades away, because we start to find out where teams are. So I like to know what's happened in summer with Newport in a second. But Colin's put a question in, and I don't know how much attention you paid. There's been a bit of spotlight on us, but Colin says, can you ask the Newport fan what their views are on our transfers and how we are doing things? Would be interested to hear the opposing fans' viewpoint. So obviously, I'm assuming that Colin is talking about this technical board structure at Notts that seems to be, catching the eye with people.
Yeah, as I jokingly put out on Twitter before I joined you, looking forward to hearing about your, the committee that picks the team. I mean, I'm being facetious there, obviously, but I think it's a really interesting approach that you seem to be taking. And I think that if you do well, and I do expect you to be like you were last year, there or thereabouts, I think if you're doing well, everyone's going to go, well, that's great, isn't it? I think if you struggle or something isn't going quite right or a bit of pressure comes on, I think that's when it becomes really difficult, isn't it? Because then, who has the influence in that boardroom, committee room, whatever that's going to look like? Where's the balance of power there? And we know from last season with our owner, we've all seen clubs, haven't we, where maybe owners or other people are having a say, maybe where they shouldn't, and how that pans out in your technical boards. I think I would be concerned if I was a Notts fan. It's going to be great if you're going well, but I think if you struggle a bit, that's where it's going to really come out, I think.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm seeing more positive signs as the weeks go on. But yeah, I think you're right. You can't really hit a rocky patch in pre-season because, it gets brushed under the carpet. But it will be very, very interesting to see what happens. If we lose to you and then Salford at home won't be easy, all of a sudden you're 2 without a win and the teams you're chasing might have picked up 6 points already. We'll see. But things are, in a little Notts bubble right now. He's saying the right things and things are going well. But I agree with you. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. Colin also says, is that the new Newport kit that you're wearing?
This is the new Newport kit, and I'm not really a kit buyer. And this is a very controversial kit because, as you can see, it's not amber. But we've gone a half and half to basically celebrate the history of the club, which started in 1912, which is one half, and then the exiles bit when we went out of business and had to start again, and we were exiled in and had to play our games in England for quite a while. So it celebrates sort of both halves of the club. Really, that's what it's about.
Nice shirt. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's grown on me. It's all right. So I bought one. So.
It's a nice shirt. I don't know if you pay any attention to pre-season predictions. I don't, but I still made a video of my predictions in case anyone wanted to know. Didn't rile a few too many fans up this year. I did last year. I did it with Jordan, who you won't know him, but he's also on the channel quite a lot. We did it together. I had Newport 23rd. Jordan had you 16th.
Yeah, Jordan, I like him. Bring him on.
He's all right. He's an all right lad. I wonder where you see Newport this season.
I think myself, everyone on the pod, and most of the fans are approaching this with some trepidation. I think we're going to struggle. I think we're going to be, we need to win the league at the bottom third or whatever that's going to be, the clubs that are down there. I mean, the window's still open, and we might come on to talk about this. Where's our strengths and weaknesses? I don't want to. I'm not going to make a real judgment until the window's shut because we are weak in a certain area that we need to address. I think we will. I think I said 20th on the pod as our preview, so we'll survive just about. Is what I'm thinking at the moment, which isn't great, is it, going into the season thinking like that, but. That's what I think. It's going to be a pretty tricky season, I think. But there are some green shoots and there are some positivities around the club and some of the young guns we've signed. A bit like your board, your technical board. Clubs have got to maybe look at doing things a different way, haven't they? And that's certainly we're trying to have it. We're outgunned financially in this division massively. Your playing budget will be 3 or 4 times ours. So we can't compete in that way. So we've got to find another way of doing it, haven't we? And which is what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
I've got a question, Ian. Like your home form was so different to your away form last season, wasn't it? And I'm just thinking about lots and lots of fans can't get to away games and whatnot, so they're seeing almost like seeing one team at home, and then reading the reports and watching the highlights or the stream or whatever of a totally different team away. So I just wonder how you're going to go about fixing that, because it seems to me if you could fix that, you might be better off.
The River 7 was basically kryptonite for us last year. So I think home form, we'd have been almost in the playoffs or possibly in the playoffs. Yeah. Away form, we were bottom. Now, the problem for me is I actually physically live in Leeds. So I go to all the away games. I saw us win once last season.
Oh, mate.
So, yeah, it wasn't good. So anything better, for anything we could improve our away form. And I think we will. I think we'll be harder to beat. I think the new management and the new team that have come in clearly are disciplining us in terms of how to play, maybe how to defend the lead, although we failed at that last night when we got to the 97th minute. But I think the aim will be to set us out, certainly away from home. Be interesting to see what we put out on Saturday. But I think away from home, we are going to look to be hard to beat. Your teams will have more of the ball of us, and then we'll try and do what we did last night, which is bang a couple of worldies in and hang on. I think.
Yeah. I was reading some of the comments. A lot of people saying they're really looking forward to it. Love Newport as on the way there. As I've already said, I got a couple of good memories from the last 2 years when we won. Keaton says, first time going to Newport Saturday. Where's the away pub?
Well, the ground's in the city centre, so do you know what I mean? There's loads of places you can go. If there's not loads of you, bob in the Murringer. Look that up. That's a good old Sam Smith's pub. If you're not making a racket and all that sort of stuff, you bob in there. That's a good one to have a sneak in. It's near the train station and everywhere. There's lots of pubs in the city centre, and there's no real dramas. Do you know what I mean? So you'll be fine.
There you go, Keaton. Got the inside information there.
The other one I'd say is this is going to sound really weird, but bob in the Newport Market, which sounds odd, but it's got loads of interesting food places and a bar in there as well. That's, again, there's not loads of you. Bob in there. That's quite good before the game. If you're down early enough, you can have something good to eat in there. That's a good one.
Sounds good. Exclusive on Notts County Talks, Pavis perspective. Ian's giving you everything you need to know for the away day. I think we've sold out. We have sold out, and we got given a few extra tickets, which is obviously really good. Didn't know if we would sell out, Ben. I know it's the first game of this season, but it's a long trip for us. And I was actually talking to Jordan, who's heading to the game, and he was looking at trains. And even with sort of a month to go, there was 2 changes on trains and prices going up. So it's a good following from us. It should be a good day. I know you've kind of had a competitive fixture. Our last competitive fixture was a really strong showing, especially second half against Cardiff. And it's made me feel a bit. It's made me feel a bit happy about things. How do you see the game going in on Saturday?
Well, I'm interested because we don't play any home friendlies because of the issue we have sharing the ground with the rugby team, so having to look after the pitch. So for years we've never played a home friendly. So I'm not 100% certain how we're going to set up. Are we going to try and almost do like we do away, probably, which is, set up as a sort of, 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, expect you to have quite a bit of the ball and try and pick you off on the break? Are we going to play like that, or are we going to shift formation? We did do a little bit of 4-2-3-1 in pre-season. So, are we going to play maybe more like that at home and maybe sort of 5-3-2 away? We don't know, I think, is the answer to that. I think you'll have most of the ball. I think we'll try and compete and be solid. And, we've got some decent stuff out wide. We've got some young wing backs. I think if we can get the ball out wide, that's probably where we'll cause more of a problem. And if we can get it in and around your box, then Reindorf, who scored last night, and the other lad, Cameron Antwi, who's a bit of a maverick character, we're hoping for him for second season Antwi, we're calling him. So we had him last year. He's got all of the attributes to be playing in a much higher league, apart from a bit of a lazy attitude tracking back. So our new manager's been very, very clear early doors about saying, he expects standards. If he can get him firing in the middle of the park, that's where something could come. But I expect you to have most of the ball. I expect you to be pushing against us. And it's like, question is, can we exploit maybe some gaps you leave behind? I think that's how it will roll.
I would kind of tell you how I think we're going to turn up, but I actually have no idea. I have no clue. The only thing I can tell you is someone will put a very, very heavy tackle in, because we've gone from probably the league's softest touch under Maynard, and we're probably going to come out this season as one of the teams that actually doesn't take any nonsense, which I think if we were like that last season, we would have stood a much better chance of actually going up against Wimbledon in the playoffs, because we just got, and we didn't want to be pushed around. We didn't want to go in for tackles. I'm not condoning this, but I don't know if you probably might have seen Barry Cotter's tackle in a Kaiserslautern friendly where he nearly breaks the guy's ankle. Norburn cuts someone halfway up the leg and against Cardiff. That's all I can tell you is I don't think we'll be as nice, but I also don't have a clue what to expect. And I don't think 95% of Notts fans do, if I'm honest.
And therein lies the fundamental problem with our team. I think we're fine, but we haven't got that bite. That's what we haven't got. And we didn't have it last year. All fans have been saying for quite a long time that we need more bite in midfield. We need that sort of defensive midfield player, somebody who can get into tackle, somebody who can. I think going forward, we're quite creative. We've got some technically good players in the mid. We've signed Matt Smith, Welsh international, played for St Johnstone. Last year he's played in the Dutch league. He's a good signing. We've got some of that technical ability. We just signed a young lad from the Swans who's highly rated in the Welsh setup. So technically, I think we'll be all right. But it's where's that oomph going to come from in the middle of the park? That's what we're lacking.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting game. Talking Gas podcast, obviously, Bristol Rovers said we have Rendolph on loan last season, only gave him 76 minutes. Well, if you saw what he did last night, you probably should have given him a bit more. Maybe would have stayed up. No, I don't know if you'd have stayed up. I can't believe you went down, if I'm honest with you.
I think the issue with Rendolph, from what I'm hearing, and it was the same at the Gas. I think that he rumour is he's got a bit of an attitude problem, or has had a bit of an attitude problem, right? So and we've got a couple of these. We've got these sort of like, what do you want to call them, maverick geniuses, or people who've got a bit of baggage, or because this is when I'm talking about the financial arms race. We've got to do things a bit differently. So as well as all these young Welsh whippersnappers we've got a few of these sort of players who can do crazy things like they did last night. So the question is, can you get a tune out of them? Can someone get hold of Rendolph and say, look, you were a shambles last year at the Gas. You didn't put the effort in. If you want a career in the game, this is it. So it's that for me is going to be where the question mark is for some players like that, isn't it? I think
100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm going to ask you two more questions, Ian. The first is, can you give us one player in the Newport side to watch out for on Saturday? And then the second is, can I have a score prediction from you?
I'm going to go for keep an eye on Cameron Antwi in the middle of the park. Could be great, or you'll just run past him and he will just wave at you with a hanky. Do you know what I mean? But have a look at him. He's got something about him if he's on it. So Cam Antwi. Okay. Score prediction. Oh God. I'm going to go for. I'm quite glad we're playing you early, actually, before your, transfer committee or whatever they are have had a chance to work out what they're doing. So I think it's a good time for us to play you. I think you'll be there or thereabouts. So let's try and get you before you've settled on. I'm going to go for 1-1.
I'd take a draw. Would you, Ben?
Yeah, probably would opening day. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd definitely take a draw.
Yeah.
Get back to Medellin against Salford. Point in the bag. Haven't lost. I'd take that. Ian, really appreciate your time. Good luck for the season, and enjoy the game if you're going on Saturday.
Yeah. All the best, lads. Have a good season. Mate.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Bye now. Cheers.
I'll tell you what, Ben. How far are we going to get this season? Because last season we got about 12 games in before I couldn't find an Accrington fan at all. So we're 1 for 1. And then it unravelled because then I couldn't get a Harrogate fan. I think it was.
They haven't got any fans, Tom.
Well, I tried so hard for 2 years running to try and get fans from every side, and we just fall short every year. Maybe this is the year.
This is the year.
This could be the one. I hope it's the one anyway. I'd love that. Ian's a great start. Good to have him on.
Top bloke.
Yeah, really interesting take on Newport and their pre-season. Tell you what's worried me though. I was thinking about this while we're talking. I was reading some of the comments as well. What worries me is we will never know how this is going to go until we have a bad run.
Yep.
So we could be like 12 games in and we've like won 8, drawn a couple and lost a couple. But until it goes wrong, we don't know if it unravels, which is making me nervous because everyone has a dip in the season, right? Every side has one, a bad run. But what if our bad run doesn't come until like a really bad run doesn't come until like March. Mm-hmm. And then it completely unravels in February, March, and we end up bombing the season. That's what worries me.
There's a couple of bits that worry me. I think most of the clubs that do this don't have people on that board who have the power to hire and fire. So, like, the owners tend not to be on those technical boards. So you have directors of football, you'll have coaches, different strata of the coaching team, but not necessarily the owners. So that seems like there's a weird power imbalance there if it goes wrong. And the other thing that worries me is if there's a discussion that happens like in that meeting could that influence? This is a bit convoluted, but could that influence something in game where Patterson wants to change something, but has basically been advised not to, or has been advised to go a different way than his instinct says? How does that work? Like on the grass in the game. So does that make sense?
Yeah. It's just such an unknown, isn't it? And I know I've said it on every video since he got appointed, but I just don't know.
Yeah,
I think a good start is so important.
Yeah,
really, really important.
Yeah, and having said I take a point, I think we need to win that game actually.
Yeah. Depends how. I say it depends how we get a point, but if we put in a bad performance and nick a late point, you've still put in a bad performance. If we're winning and concede, we still drop points. And if it's 0-0, depends how that 0-0 goes. When we could have peppered their goal and their keeper have a worldie, that's probably the best case scenario. But then there's the obvious thing of everyone wants a number 9 in, and we wouldn't have scored. So Dogs UK says 12 points from our first 4 games. That would be incredible. I think Newport's an interesting one on the opening day. Salford at home won't be easy. Barrow away is never ever easy, and I think it's then Bromley at home maybe. Again, not nice. Well, not the worst fixture. Not the worst fixture. We're going to be drawing the giveaway soon, so stick around for that home and away shirt giveaway. We'll do the draw for both of those, and then obviously there's still plenty to chat about. We do have a poll question in, and I'll tell you right now where we sit in terms of the results for that poll question. So it was all about, are we done? Because we obviously got the 2 for Tuesday signings. We got Bennett and we got Luca in yesterday. And it's, do you think there'll be any more players brought in during the transfer window? 81% said yes, we will bring some players in. And then 19% said we are finished. Ben, where do you sit there?
I think we're done unless it's replacement now.
Okay.
Like if AJ goes, or heaven forfend Beds goes, or whatever. Not that that's going to happen, but you know what I mean. I think with Luca and the amount of wide players that we've signed, and what that then means, probably where Jody's going to play, I think we might be done.
I've got a suspicion we're done as well. I've seen a few things floating around about a couple of strikers, a few whispers of, is it Ollie Pearce at York?
Yeah.
I can't see that. I mean, we'd have to pay a big fee for him, and he's 30 before this, or 2-3 days into the season. I don't think that's the owner's style. There's a young lad that was at Spurs and then went on to Spain. I've heard a couple of things about a free agent, 21 years old, Jude. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up again.
That's all the profile.
Yeah, that is. Do you think, gut instinct, we're going to have to replace Jatta or not?
If you'd asked me that at the start of the Germany tour, I would have said that's it. It's done. He's gone. Surely. But then nothing's happened. I think if he does stay, he needs to change his agent.
Yeah.
The guy's a maniac. But hand on heart, Tom, yes, I think he'll go. I don't know what I'm basing that on, but I guess what happened in January, big fall off at the back end, the stuff that he's put out, and it's not been called back. Yeah, like you said on a previous video, you know, like if Jatta was really upset about it, surely you get on the phone and go, look, stop. But that hasn't happened. I've got a feeling he's going to go. It might be a late one, but I think he's going to go. In which case, yes, we need a number 9. Bearing in mind that nobody actually knows what Traore does. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even on the bench against Cardiff.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's got a bit of pressure on it the more you think about it, because we actually spent money. And I looked at Bradford's squad last year, and I looked at a couple of the other squads that have been promoted in previous years, like going back 5 years. And some squads spent no money to go up. They just bought free transfers and loans in, and they already had decent squads. But the fact we actually have spent money on Traore and he hasn't scored yet, he got 2 assists in one game. One of them wasn't actually an assist. It just bounced off him. It was a 1-2 with Jarvis or Whittaker. One of the two, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually spent money, and we spent a substantial amount of money as well, which puts pressure on. I don't really know how long you give him. Obviously, I'm not saying we give up on him now. No way. But what happens if we go another half season in the same form? Then you're relying on Dennis, and you could have lost Jatta. I think it'll be mind games with Jatta, and I think if Jatta wasn't suspended for 5 games, he would be gone already. If he hasn't gone yet, teams know we can't play him. There's very little risk of him getting injured in those 5 games, so teams can hold on. If he doesn't want to be there, the closer we get to the end of the transfer window, the more desperate we get. We maybe lower our price a little bit, because who wants a player that doesn't want to be here? Knots have already said they don't do that because we let Dan Crowley go. So all of a sudden, if you buy Jatta on the 30th of July with 5-game suspension, you maybe pay X amount of money. If you get Jatta on 22nd of August, a player that doesn't want to be there 8 days, we're probably saying, okay, that's maybe a third, a quarter lower than what we want. I don't know. I think it's a really tough one. Let me be really, really clear. I said on last week's show, when there was a rumoured 600,000 euros, that I would definitely take that. That doesn't mean I don't want him. That means that's a good price. Everyone that watches this knows I absolutely love Nick Cerula. I think he's one of I think he's criminally underrated, but that's just my opinion.
No, I'm shoulder to shoulder with that.
Yeah, if someone said to me 400,000, I know this is extortionate. If someone said to me 400,000 for Nick Cerula, I'd say yeah. If someone said 300,000 for Nick Cerula, I'd say yes. It doesn't mean I don't want the player, but 600,000 for Jatta on a player that we don't actually know if he wants to be there. His agent's making all that noise, and then at the same time he's suspended for 5 games, and he's in the last year of his contract, and we rejected money and he fell off a cliff in terms of goal scoring. It's a no-brainer. It doesn't mean we don't want him. I don't want any player that doesn't want to be here. And what do you think, Ben? Patterson strikes me as someone that if someone doesn't want to be here, he's not got time for them.
No, and I think he'd sniff it out as well. I think from the little we've seen, I think you've got to want to play in a Patterson team, and I think he will know that straight away. I've just seen somebody in the comments saying there might be people out the door that Patterson, not his players. I think that's a really interesting point. And you can sort of see it. I'm looking at the signings and like, where does Will Jarvis fit into this? You see, I think he's an incredibly skillful player, but he's not going to press that hard. He's quite a different kind of player,
Yeah. Did he even come on against Cardiff?
Don't think so. No. Did he? Oh, somebody put me right.
I don't know if he did. I saw him warming up, but I don't know if he did. Andy here said Traore, Edwards, Hinchy, Jarvis, and Reynolds are going to be surface requirements in my book. So that's just Andy's opinion. Robbo, Ness, and Cerula to come back. I agree with a lot.
Go on.
But I'm just going to say Traore can't be surplus requirements, because it'll be the biggest disaster in terms of financial. I think it'd be a bigger disaster from the owners than having to get rid of Maynard in terms of financially, because they've got nothing out of them. There's no resale value in Traore.
No. They paid 300,000, or that's the rumor, isn't it? The only thing with Hinchy, I would say, is he's kind of the only natural number 6 we've got.
Yeah.
And now with a high pressing style, that does suit Matty Palmer. It does, because he picks up the ball slightly further up the pitch, and then like his passing angles and the way he recycles the ball means that we get the ball into more forward players or wider players quicker. But with Iopenda, like Matty's going to have to pretty much play in the 6. Now, the only thing that worries me there is he's not actually a brilliant tackler, Matty Palmer. He gives away a lot of free kicks. His timing isn't brilliant. I love him to bits, but so Hinchy, I know what you mean, Andy. I do know what you mean, and you might actually get some money on Hinchy because he's a young player and he's come through a really good academy. So, but he is our only natural 6. It's weird, isn't it? We've got loads of midfielders, but how are we going to use them?
I quite like him. If I was to go right now, and things change in the season, they really do change, because look back to Adam Chickson. There's loads of comments about Chickson tonight for some reason, but look back at Adam Chickson. throughout the season, you start the season, you say, is he going to get 12 goals in that Lou Williams side? You'd say no way. And then he's got like 9 by like Christmas. So things change. If I was to say right now, Traore can't be surplus to requirements. We need him to start firing. Edwards right now, I can't see him getting any minutes at all. I know he did come on. I can't see him getting any other than cup competitions. Hinchy is going to be right back in the pecking order, especially when Robbo comes back. He's not getting in right now ahead of Eor Pender, who looked excellent against Cardiff. He's not getting in ahead of Matty Palmer because he's probably going to be captain. When Norburn comes back, he might get in when Norburn gets red cards based on that tackle. Robbo, I love Robbo. I mean, if you have a midfield of Robbo and Norburn, people are going to run the opposite way. So great. Jarvis, I don't know.
He's box to box, Robbo.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Reynolds could benefit with another loan.
Yeah.
Top of National League, even bottom half of, that could be us, couldn't it? But bottom half of League Two. And Ness, don't know how much football you're going to get out of him. The gamble was fantastic because what I've seen of him, he's good. And Nick Cerula to come back. I'd say Nick Cerula to come back and be worth $1 million by Christmas, personally.
Do you think we've got enough centre-backs, bearing in mind that Ness, we don't know how fit he is now, and he's not been fit for very long, which leaves us with Al Joffrey, Platt, Beds, McDonald, Macari, but Macari's going to get a ban, right?
Yeah.
So that means we've got 4 centre-backs.
You're right.
And this is a league where everybody's signing strikers. It's like a kind of gung. It seems to me there's the recruitment policy from a lot of people has been like firepower.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question because touch wood, this doesn't happen, right? What if you go into the first few games of the season, you lose Matty Platt for 2 months?
Yeah.
Because who's then going into the centre? McDonald? Okay. Then you've got Al Joffrey, McDonald and Bedu with nobody as cover because Ness isn't fit. There's nobody at wing backs you can push into that position. I don't know when the decision's made on Macari. But if it's delayed if it's not for a few weeks, or because they have to give people time to respond, don't they? Or even a couple of months, at least you've got him then. Don't really want to bring in another lone player because we've got 4. None of the midfielders can play defensive. You need a Bajrami type player.
You do, exactly. Oh, poor old Badge, man.
Yeah. That's a good question. Ian says, what was Jatta like with the team warm-up on Saturday? I was actually 6 minutes late to the game. Again, I'll say it now because he's not here. It's George's fault. Genuinely, we were playing paddle at Meadow Lane at 1 o'clock and we were still somehow late to the game. But that's a story for another day. Again, slate him in the comments if you want. He might not watch this back. He might be watching now. Comment if you are, George. When he warmed up down the side of the pitch and people chanting his name, my vibe was he didn't look like he wanted to be there. It took him a while to clap the fans, and then he didn't look bothered. But that could just be his demeanour and how it is. I kind of get that's just the kind of how he is. He's not like he's not one of these players that's going up to the fans and giving it, big all the time, is he? No. It's a preseason friendly. He's not going to be fist pumping the fans in a preseason friendly, especially when he knows he's not going to be playing for 5 games. But then he came on and scored. Big tackle and then scored. So, don't know really what to make of it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it because there's a spotlight on it all, isn't there? So, we'll see. Reckon Norburn could fill at centre-back if necessary, says Chris.
Yeah, I just saw that. It's a good shout, Chris.
Yeah. There's a few. It's gone a bit quiet with Kuyar as well, hasn't it? He's now not been picked much. And him, Jarvis and Hinchy played in the B team, which is for minutes. I think it's for minutes. But it's gone quiet.
It's another wide option, though. You see what I mean? It's another wide option.
Yeah.
So I was starting to think that that JJ's going to be playing in the 10,
Yeah. Gilly's very true. So last season, he literally celebrated with the fans. He sat in one of the seats when he scored. Yeah, he did actually do that. I'm talking about more, like he's not the player that runs up to fans before games and gets them loud in big games. And, maybe I'm missing the fist bumps he did at the end of the game. But yeah, I get your point. He literally sat in the family stand with with the fans when he got those goals. But yeah, tricky. I mean, he's lost. He seemed like, can't forget he's only been in the country a year and a half.
Yeah,
and he made a very, very, very big. Oh, sorry. So Gil is saying that's what I mean. So things change. Yeah, maybe. He seems to have an incredible connection with Didzy, and he's now lost him. I remember when Didzy was injured and Jatta was doing Didzy's celebration after he scored, and he's lost that now. So
look, don't get me wrong. A firing AJ, I don't want to go in anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Because he can be a point of difference, like nobody else in the league. I mean, there are very few strikers with that profile, but he's got to want to be at Notts. Otherwise, as far as I'm concerned, that's over. He's got to go. If there's, I've got no time for that. But it's just really difficult with him. It's really, really difficult. But if I mean, look, Ewan's just put, if he wants to be here and works hard, absolutely, then let's go, because he can be an absolute monster. He can be a nightmare to play against.
Well, the goal was I haven't actually seen him finish like that, like he did against Cardiff for Notts. The movement was good. It was edge of the box, and he could have finished last season with 30 goals. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
but
he could. Yeah,
Patterson could teach him a lot. He could learn a lot from Patterson. Yeah. We're going to talk about our two new signings, Jaden Luca and Keenan Bennett. But first, we're going to do the giveaway draw. So I know a lot of you entered. Few things before I do this giveaway. First of all, it was from the channel for your support for the last few years. If there was a third shirt, we would have also done a third giveaway like we did last year, but there wasn't this year. So it's a home and away shirt giveaway. So thank you, massive thank you to everyone. It's now 5 seasons in a row we've done a giveaway. First couple of seasons was just one shirt, and then we've been building up as a massive thank you. We are actually right now, we're 6 subscribers away from 4,400. So if we could get those tonight, that'd be incredible. And another shout out I want to do before this is actually incredible as well. Callum has been a member for 24 months, so 2 years of being a channel member without breaking that. So that's through pre-season and everything. And 2 years and no possibility of a chicks and hat trick. You never know. Players might come back, But Callum, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's just a thank you for everyone's support and other channel members as well. Plenty of you have supported us. What I will say is, and we do this every year, when we draw the winner, there's not an infinite amount of time to contact us. We will be able to have a go at contacting you as well. If you haven't contacted them within a couple of weeks, then we'll redraw. But that's never happened. But it's just a bit of T's and C's there. So, first of all, you can see here. I'm going to draw a comment from the video with the keyword home. So this is the home shirt giveaway. Okay. So it's collecting all of the comments from the video. You can see how many are there. And entries for a home shirt actually hit 220 comments for a home shirt. So we'll draw the winner, and then we'll do the away shirt as well. So our winner is Brett James, who's asked for a home shirt. So Brett, if you're watching this, put it in the comments. But congratulations, you've won the home shirt. Couple of weeks to contact us, otherwise you'll redraw it. Yeah, contact us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. And well done. Congratulations. Let's do an away shirt as well. Let's do the away shirt.
Let's do it.
What's your favourite, Ben?
I need to see the home shirt on the team, but I really like the away shirt.
It's nice.
I really like it. Yeah. Well, it's just nice to have a design for once as well. I think maybe it's that. It's like kind of the breakup on the shirt. We've had block colours, haven't we?
Yeah, I didn't like last season's home shirt too much. So there we go. Right, let's do the away. So here we have it. You can see it's filtering out everything that says away shirt on it. So
here we go.
Let's see. It's loading the comments with away. Populating it. Let's see how many. 194. So less people wanted the away shirt. That's understandable. Let's see our winner. Again, 2 weeks to get in contact with us on any of our socials: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, even email. It's on our social medias. The winner of the away shirt is Andrew Porter 9947. Hi, home shirt and away, please. You've entered for the away. The video is nice, honest, real life. Looking to meet both you. Hope I win. Done all the things. Keep up the good work. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, and entered. So Andrew, you have won the away shirt. So congratulations. Contact us. Someone said a third shirt still to come. Maybe. If there is a third. I did hear rumours of a third shirt being released later on. Then we'll do a giveaway for that as well. Guaranteed. We'll do a giveaway for that as another thank you. Right, 2 signings yesterday. The first one, I was like, please. I was actually a bit nervous. I was like, please don't let him go. Please don't let him go. Please don't get him low. And it was Keenan Bennett. I saw more in 30 minutes of being a trialist than I have for a ridiculous amount of time in other trialists combined. Fast, strong, beat his player, ran in behind, whipped crosses in, should have had an assist, barely went backwards, always looking to go forwards. Hasn't scored many, and has been in and out of the second division in Austria. And my knowledge of football is okay, but when it comes to second division in Austria, I have no clue how they would do against Notts. I presume
got feedback as well there. Yeah,
League 2, League 1 level, maybe.
I guess so.
You used to play in the third tier of Austria, didn't you, Ben?
I did, yeah, but that's a long time ago now. The game's moved on, Tom.
Yeah. Striker, weren't you?
Yeah, just it sort of like an old inside left.
Yeah, I remember that when you cut in I think it was the 2006 Austrian Cup final. I remember my dad taking me out to Austria, and I remember seeing you play, and you whipped it bottom corner. It was a great goal.
Yeah, in off the post, wasn't it? It's just click the post on there.
Great goal.
Oh, great days. Yeah.
But I have no idea what standard that is.
No. But I tell you what, my brother basically said the same thing. He was there for the game and said within seconds he'd knocked the ball past his man and gone. Like proper pace.
Yeah,
proper pace, Bennett's. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I don't know the last time we had a player that knocked it past people and just ran, because they get you off your seat. Like Jody can take players on. I mentioned this in my reaction yesterday. Jarvis can do that, but Jarvis kind of glides inside. Sarula can take a few players on, but to just actually go at someone, a bit like Aaron Deman in the National League season kind of thing.
Yeah, love that.
It's a good one. And then I know nothing about Jaden Luca, but he's very, very, very highly thought of, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same. I had to go around kind of, having a scour about to see what he was about, but pretty much, Luton really rate him. They really rate him.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited about him. I think it's another Notts let's wait and see signing, isn't it? It's a kind of it's like, whoa, this guy could be brilliant. But I quite liked in his interview that he sort of, because his goals and assist return isn't massive, but he acknowledged that and sort of said, didn't get as many goals as I would have liked, and that's something I want to kind of put right. So I think that's good in a young player as well, because he's clearly wants to get into those attacking positions.
Yeah,
and not being funny, Tom. I want someone who can go through the middle. Like last season, I know it's Maynard ball, but we just knocked the ball wide every single time. Every single time.
But it got repetitive.
Well, yeah, because everybody knew what we were going to do, so they just packed the box and headed the ball out of the box. I mean, it was repetitive and predictable. And I think if we can come through, like, how many goals did we score from the edge of the box? It's just like not many. That's why I was, pleased to see Crazy Barry Cotter's goal as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The times we did score from outside the box, I'm thinking quick transitions. I'm thinking Charlie Whittaker's goals against Newport. Very quick transition. Comes in from the right, played in.
Yeah.
But not many. Do you know who we need?
After that, it's Didzy Worldies.
Yeah, we need it, like, because even Crowley was a good player, but Crowley was still very much guilty of going wide all the time. We need a Ruben, that kind of player that would just, like, I'm going to take Ruben back. The guy's playing in the top tier in Brazil now, isn't he? Fair play to him. The fact, you know what? The brothers need insane credit for getting him in the National League. That is incredible.
Yeah. And what a pleasure to watch him. I know we don't go backwards, we go forwards, but what a pleasure to watch Ruben Rodriguez at Notts County. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, in that League Two season, I would love to have seen him play for us in League Two, but then he went and got promoted with Oxford, didn't he? And everyone said it's a step back. Goodness me. He's played Championship and now he's going to be playing, Brazilian Serie A football. Yeah, we need that kind of player that's just going to run. And Ruben was strong enough to hold people off whilst he was going forward. I think we did try that with Charlie Whittaker, but he was too weak. Yeah. And whenever someone came near me, had to release the ball or get a shot away. We need that. I agree with you. Luca, for me, he's been bought in because I've heard pretty much was like a pressing, just like a cheat code, would just run people down, which is great. I'll take that. We need that because when we lost the ball last season, we just drifted back and just sat. It was like, okay. Yeah. We were really good under Williams because we got the ball back and they were tired.
Yeah.
And then they'll get it and they'll be like, right, we've got it and we'll win it back. And then they'll be chasing the ball again. We didn't do that last year, but that could be good. That could be good. As a question, I was scrolling loads then to try and find it. Someone asked it right at the start, but it wasn't the right time to ask the question. So if it was your question, just pop in the chat. Someone asked us, more so ask you, Ben, who you think our most influential signing is going to be? That's a great question.
That's a brilliant question. I'd love it to be a perm, but I've got a feeling it's Iopenda. I think it's Iopenda. I think he's got all the attributes. Like, he seems to be able to play 8 through 10. He's athletic. He's quick. He's forward thinking. He's not going to get knocked off the ball. He's not selfish, from what I've seen anyway. I mean, that's like, streams in Germany and then match reports from friends and family. But I think he might have a season, Iopenda.
Yeah. I'm going to go different. I'm going to go different. I'm going to say, from what I've seen so far, what I really like is, and I'm only going to go different because I also agree with Iopenda, but I'm going to throw in Dennis.
Please. I hope so. Yeah.
Gets much, much more involved than what we've seen with the strikers. He's not just there to score. Hold up plays great. Good to the ball at his feet. Really, really good. Someone said, on a serious note, maybe Dennis could be the one just because he's a much better team now. Joe says, hopefully Dennis gets off the mark early. Yeah. Have you seen the video of Bennett's playing for Spurs getting spoken about as the next Gareth Bale? No, but it'll be the next. It'll be the next big thing for us. I think he'll be a really good signing. Really, really good.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, he looks confident lad as well.
Someone says Cotter.
Yeah. Barry Cotter, apart from anything else, I really like Barry Cotter because he sounds like a stand-up comedian from Yorkshire in the 1970s. But Barry Cotter, his two performances that he's put in front of Notts fans, he's literally tried to break someone's leg and then scored a worldie from 30 yards, having taken the ball down beautifully, and like totally done his man. It's like if you're gonna make an impact, good work, Barry Cotter.
Do you know we're talking about this though? You're talking about Iopenda, you're talking about Cotter, who Cotter looks great. You're talking about Bennett's, Dennis, still got Jody, still got Platt. I thought Joffrey looked pretty good on Saturday. You've got Bedu.
Those three will start.
It's making me really confident when I talk about that. But then you look at the bench and it's still not strong enough. It's still not. You got Jaden Luca to add to the squad, but Edwards, I don't see being an impact player that we can rely on. Reynolds is not ready yet. Like you say, McDonald is going to be our only centre-back option if anything happens with Macari. Goalkeeper, we've downgraded. We have downgraded goalkeeper.
But we don't know. We don't know. We do not know what Roos is like.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, because the big thing for me will be what's he like on crosses, because that was the big thing for us when Bassi came in and just claimed cross after cross after cross. And it's like, oh, yes. I don't know. I mean, how many games? He didn't play 90, did he, against Cardiff?
Played 76 to manage his minutes. The goalkeeper. I don't think he needs minutes managing.
You got to be careful.
And then you look at the concern, and Ian said here about squad depth is, what if Roos does get an injury? You're then left with Griffiths, who, I think he could be a good keeper in time, but you're not having him starting. Surely you're not having him starting in League Two. I mean, his first touch against Cardiff was to pass the ball out to their striker.
Yeah, it was a good
He's not
ball.
going to do that every week. I'm not stupid to think he's going to do that every week, but come on. We need who's the bigger loss for you, Ben? Didsey or Bass?
It's going to upset people here in a way, but I think Bass is the bigger loss because Bass was on a 3-year contract, was kind of a younger player approaching peak. Well, I mean, he's got a few years to go till peak, but he had the potential to be hugely, hugely influential. Now, Didsey, we all adore Didsey, and he just put in the season the season that we were hoping for. But I think realistically, he would have played fewer games. So, yes, he would have influenced every game he played in. But I think across a 46-game season, I think Bass would have probably had more impact. Do you know what I mean? I think Bassey, I know it's a silly thing, but goalkeepers earn you points, don't they? You know, like class saves that keep the score at 1-1, and so you keep a point where you would have lost 3. Those sorts of things. I think Bassey would have been a big impact.
Yeah, Bass for me is the bigger loss as well. I think what's telling with Bass is if we did something stupid like when Wrexham went up 2 years in a row, or Luton did, and we found ourselves in a championship, Bass would have been the League One goalkeeper and your championship goalkeeper.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So
it was good enough. It was good enough to go all the way through, you know.
Yeah, injured for Peterborough now as well. I don't know if that's come out of how long, but someone says he's got the Notts curse from last season. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
300,000, I think, Richard. I thought Bass went for 300k.
I mean, it's good money, isn't it? It's good money. We couldn't say no to that for a goalkeeper as well, because goalkeeper prices aren't as inflated as your players, like your Jattas or your Maccas, people like that. This is going to be difficult, and I think this last season, it was almost like when I was doing the show with George, when I was like, right, let's pick the team again, and we've done it in like a minute, because it's like we know what's going to happen. Someone puts in a bad performance, they still play. It's not going to be that easy. So let's go for our team. So it's got to be Kel Roos in goal.
Yep.
And then I think it will be Bedu, Platt, and Al Joffrey.
Yeah.
Then
it will. I've started to go for, like, because we just don't know, and it's first game, almost like the team that I want to see.
Go on then. Who you having at your wing backs? It's got to be Cotter.
It's got to be Barry Cotter, and I want to see Keenan Bennett.
Oh, that'd be good to drop him straight in.
But that's what I mean. It's maybe a bit of a silly team selection, but it's like, who do I want to see? Because I don't know. At this stage, I don't know.
I'm unconvinced by Gordon still.
He can be really good, Kellen Gordon, but it's a consistency thing with him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Also, if fans didn't think he was good enough on the right, putting him onto the left is just not going to do any good, is it?
I don't think it will be, but I'd really like to see Bennett on one side and Cotter on the other.
I think it'll be Gordon.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
so do I.
Midfield 2 is going to be... It's good we saw Norburn in a friendly. I didn't think we'd see him at all, but it's going to be Palmer and it's going to be Eopenda.
Yeah. Then
it's going to be Jody. And I don't think Luca's going to come straight in.
No, I think Conor Grant will start.
Who put in a monumental shift on Saturday, but I didn't get the full hype. Like, he did some amazing things and then gave the ball straight away. Or...
do you know what? It could really come for Conor Grant. I know he divides opinion, and I know why. I think he works really, really hard. And I think he strikes me like a player who really wants to improve. And it's a big season for him, not just as a Notts player, but like as a young player. It's a big season for Conor Grant because if he can put string performances together, it'll be really important for him. So I'd put Conor Grant behind JJ, behind Dennis.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, then you've got some options off the bench. Luca could come off the bench. You've got Norburn. You've got Bennett. You've got Jarvis, who hopefully we see more of him. But I don't know. I'm so confused because I could see us walking away from Newport with a 4-0 win.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, we've gone mad. I know this sounds stupid to say, but the first game of the season, you get some crazy results. You get like 6-7 nils across the three EFL leagues because something's just happens. Opening days, you get like 5-4s and 6-3s and stuff like that. Yeah. But I can't see us getting hammered. I really can't. I can't see anyone other than completely outplaying us to the point of insane football that MK Dons could play with their team. I don't see anyone outplaying us. I think we'll break games up and make it impossible to outplay us in terms of just like bullying us kind of thing. I can't see a big Newport win. I could kind of see a draw, but I could also see us going and winning 4-0, but I'm not going to predict a 4-0.
I actually think, especially after talking to Ian as well, and I was looking at Newport earlier this afternoon, I think it's actually probably not a bad, if you're going to play away from home. I know they've got a better home record, etc., but or did last season, but I don't think it's a bad fixture to have. Just for us to get our passing game going. Didn't they mean out at like 26% possession or something? It's something crazy. I mean, I think that's away from home, but so yeah, I'm with you. I can't see us getting battered until 3-3.
Yeah,
but
it's
a great season of let's find out, isn't it?
It's going to be interesting. Are you at Newport then?
No, I can't make it. I cannot make it, which is hurting actually.
Yeah.
But I will watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it on the stick.
Let's have your score prediction.
I'm gonna kick off with a clean sheet and a 2-0 win, Tom. That's what I'm going to
agree. Who are you going to have the scorers?
I want Dennis to score. And come on, let's have Keenan Bennett, whether he comes off the bench or starts.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-0. I was going to say 2-1, but Andy says Barnett were all over them last night and went 2-0 down. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go Dennis double.
Dennis it. Double. Great to get him going, wouldn't it? Get his goals going.
Last Thursday, I sat here and said I think we had a poor pre-season. Then on Sunday night's video, the predictions I said I think we'll finish outside the playoffs because we're not in that. And now we're like 3 days away from the game. I can't wait, and I think we're going to win
the league.
Yeah. But these two signings have made me, especially the Bennett signing, made me more optimistic. Would I change us from ninth to put us in the playoffs based on those two signings from our prediction video? I still wouldn't. I need to see how we play first. So let's see. Let's see what everyone's got them. So we've got John says 3-0. Jones, Bedu, Palmer. Palmer kicks off with a goal and then the season goes crazy. I'd love that. We've got 4-3. We've got 4-0. We've got 3-0 knots. We've got a 0-0. I wouldn't say no. I mean, I think we do need to. 3-1 says Mickey, who's a channel member. Ian says 2-0 Cotter and Dennis. Can we see a Chickson season from Cotter? 12 goals. But all world is 1-1, 5-0, 0-0, and Julie goes 2-1. Ben, appreciate you joining us. We're going to have you on plenty more throughout this season. So if you're watching, and we know you all love Ben, don't worry. Ben is definitely going to be back. Back to Thursday next week, all being well. So tune in for that. We'll obviously have the reaction to the Newport game. Hopefully it's a victory. If you are traveling to Newport and you're part of that sold out away end, make it loud. Help us. How many Reds Andy says this season? We're on about Cotter all this season. I'm going to say 7. They're all or Cotter. Maybe a Northern one in there as well. Yeah, the safe travels. Cheer the team on. First game of the season, always exciting. And this team is exciting. This team is really exciting. We've had a bit, Bennett, Jarvis, Jody. There's all these players, Luca that's come in. So I'm going to use what Will's always telling me. Just enjoy the ride for this season. Enjoy the ride. Yeah. If you won the giveaway, just get in contact with us. Congratulations. As I said, if it's not been claimed within 2 weeks, we'll do the draw again. And can we get those last few subscribers to get us to 3,400? Have a fantastic rest of your week and enjoy the game against Newport.